So Quentin Miller, who's mostly known for ghostwriting for Drake after a few reference tracks came out a few years back, did an interview on the Rory and Mal podcast, and he spoke about collaborating with a few other artists. One of those artists that he named was Nas and Big Sean and many others. So I'm going to play this video clip and I'm going to come back and give my thoughts.
I've been still writing for people ever since. You know, I done work with Nas, Big Sean, Jeezy, a bunch of other people, Jeremiah, Ty Dolla $ign, like a bunch of other people.
Now, I know that there will be some super fans, some Nas sexuals who will run to the comment section and say, Nas already denied it. Nas already said it wasn't true. He says he write all his lyrics. Those people right there, those are super fans. And they don't want their dreams to be crushed of their favorite rapper potentially having help with their bars. And I'm not saying that Nas did. But these fans, they don't want it to be true. So they'll fight you and attack the person who was probably there right in the bars in the studio with Nas at the time. And they'll defend Nas harder than Nas. See, Nas ain't got to say nothing because he know the super fans will be butthurt and they'll cry and they'll go out and they'll attack people for stating what could be facts. It's quite puzzling to me that it seems so far-fetched to a lot of people that Nas could potentially have had either ghostwriters or he may have had assistants with a few bars. If you are into music, like you know someone into music, they'll tell you that if they're in a studio, they'll have people in there who would throw out a few lines if they're having trouble with a few bars. You know, they may be in the studio, they may have writer's block, and they may have trouble coming up with a line. And you will have someone in there and be like, nah, you could say it like this. Or that doesn't take away from Nas' greatness. And I think for many fans, you know, rappers have been held to the standard that you have to write everything yourself and do it yourself to be considered the greatest. I'm not sure why in the black community we have this do everything yourself mentality to create something great. You know, to me, Nas is by far one of the greatest musicians ever. But I don't think him having help would make him any less great. But they look at Nas, they view Nas as the upper echelon of rappers, you know, considered the greatest rappers of all time. I got Nas in my top 5, up there with the Tupacs, the Jay-Z's of the world, and the Biggies. But they think that that would take him a notch down if Nas has ghostwriters or if Nas have assistants. I don't know why we have this mentality, this mindset that you have to do everything yourself to be considered great or be one of the greatest. Who cares if the product is great? We don't sit around and look at our iPhone, or we don't sit around and, you know, look at a car or look at a laptop or, you know, look at many things in life. If a video game that we like, may it be a Madden or may it be an NBA 2K, like, we just love the product. We love how great the game is. Why is it that when it comes to certain rappers, they got to be held to a God level standard? Like, that's how they view them, like this Jesus level, like they have no mistakes. They do everything themselves. You know, it's like the criteria and the requirements of being a rapper is just so ridiculous, bro. It would be like you finding out God didn't really create Earth, but he's made other things happen in your life. Like, he's made blessings come true in your life, but he didn't create the earth. It'd be like picking and choosing, just picking apart. Nas is a great rapper. So it would be like, all right, maybe his new material, he may have had assistance on new material, but let's say he wrote all his prior records, you know, may it be a one mic, or he wrote his first album, you know, and wrote his older material, but the newer material, he's been having writer's block. He's constantly on the road. He's constantly, you know, moving around. The man is winning Grammys now. I'm not saying that Nas 100% is confirmed that Nas has ghostwriters. You know, I've had a discussion with someone and he was like, man, nah, you know, he could have, you know, what's the full story? He could have been credited for writing the chorus or writing the hook. But Quentin Miller isn't known for writing choruses and writing hooks. Quentin Miller is known for coming with the bars, you know, his delivery, his flow. He knows how to switch it up. And then you will hear people say, all right, well, how come he can't make a hit song for himself? But as I said, they have machines behind them. So they don't have the packaging that's why battle rappers, as I said, battle rappers make great writers. They make great ghostwriters because battle rappers, they don't make great songs. They don't know how to structure a song. Battle rappers, their primary focus is on the bars. So whenever you question why they can't make a hit for themselves, because they more so focus on the bars. They could watch a movie and reference something from a movie that they watch, from a TV show that they watch, from something that they read. They know how to use double and triple entendres. They know how to use schemes and metaphors. They're witty with their bars. To whereas an entertainer could just focus on doing the music, just going in there and reading the lyrics and performing on stage. So they may have someone who could write the bars. They'll bring somebody in like a Quentin Miller who's elite with the bars. And then they have someone go in there and coach whoever it is. May it be a Nas, may it be a Drake, may it be a Jay-Z, whoever it is, a Lotto, whoever. They go in there and coach them and give them tips on how they can say it, how they can switch up their flow. They have an engineer. They have a producer. They have someone who mix and master the track. They got somebody that market and promote the track. It's so much that goes into making music. It's a collaborative effort. If y'all stop holding these rappers to these unrealistic standards, then they could come out and they could be honest. They ain't got to have this stigma. They ain't got to be criticized for having ghostwriters. They could just be upfront and be like, man, I get assistance. It's a collaborative effort. I write some of my music, but I got a ghostwriter. Like, people would be honest if people stop judging them and holding them to an unrealistic standard. Like, they feel like they got to write all their material to be the greatest. For all we know, Nas could be lying. Because if he comes out and be honest and tell the truth, then he knows that y'all not going to support him like that no more. A lot of y'all would take him out of y'all top 5 if y'all found out he had ghostwriters. If I found out that Jay-Z, Tupac, Lil Wayne, Andre 3000, Cool G Rap, Slick Rick, Rakim, anybody you could think of, if it came out that KRS-One, all these guys had ghostwriters, I wouldn't care. It's like we, in our community, we have this ego. No, we need to change that mentality. It's a sickening mindset. Everybody needs help building a business. It's like, whose business is it? If y'all are business partners, why is it that, it got to be his business, or it got to be his? No, it's both of ours. It's only us that think with that mentality. But Quentin Miller, he doesn't strike me as a person who would lie to get clout. But I think that he's being honest. And if he did write a couple of lines for Nas, I don't think that takes away what Nas has done in the past and the legacy that he's built. Nas is by far one of the greatest rappers ever. To me, I've said this the other day, he's aging like wine. It's like the older he get, the younger he's getting. He's aging well with time.